I'm delighted to invite friends from Novosibirsk State Regional Scientific Library to present their cultural storytelling of Novosibirsk and its region. Before, let me remind that what you will see, it's the right and the important collaboration also thanks to the All Russia State Library for Foreign Literature in Moscow that allowed the foundations and the movement Life Beyond Tourists to start this new partnership with such an important library in Siberia. And again, starting from the director, Svetlana Sarasova, that yesterday she delivered a very nice video message of greetings. Thank you again. You are welcome. I think that you are able to start. The floor is yours, friends from Novosibirsk State Regional Scientific Library. Please.
Okay. Thank you very much. 1 second, please. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Divizorova Natalia. It's an honor for me to be here in behalf of our team from Novosibirsk State Regional Scientific Library. We deeply appreciate this chance to present our city and region that we love so much. And today we are going to make a little trip to Novosibirsk and Novosibirsk region. And I think we can start our little journey. First of all, I think we should find out our position on geographical map. Novosibirsk region is a key region in Siberia, situated in very center in Eurasia. Its economically cultural capital is Novosibirsk. The geography of region is highly diverse with swamps, lakes, forests, steppes, hills, and plains. There are more than 100 rivers in the region, but the main river, of course, is Obi. I'm sure when you hear about Siberia, first you have a vision of extremely cold winter that have been lasting here all year round. Yeah, it's partially true, but at the same time, the climate of Siberia region is continental with really hot summers, but also, yeah, with really cold winters. Next year, we are going to celebrate the 85th anniversary of Novosibirsk region. And before we get to Novosibirsk, in our way will be a lot of towns and urban type settlements of Novosibirsk region. Such settlements like Kuibyshev, Suzun, Kolyvane represents our historical and cultural heritage of our region, and they appears to be older than Novosibirsk itself. For example, in Suzun, we can find such unique cultural treasure like a copper smelter museum. It was the first museum. It was the first copper smelter in Siberia. And in Novosibirsk region, we carefully preserved cultural treasures of indigenous populations. Near the Kolyvane, there is a museum complex of Chad-Tatar manners, which opened in the village Yurtura. Yurtura was a traditional residence of Siberian Tatar, and still the descendants of them are living there. Also, in Novosibirsk region, we also can find the unique natural objects. For example, Health Resort Karachi in the Chanovsky district attracts all tourists from all parts of the country because the water in Lake Karachi is rich in mineral salts that even comparable to the famous Dead Sea. And now we eventually reach the Novosibirsk administrative center, Novosibirsk region, city on the Great River Ob, with population more than 1.6 million people and the third most populous city in Russia. Novosibirsk owes its origin to the Trans-Siberian Railway connecting Western Russia to the Russian Far East. Novosibirsk is included in the Guinness Books of Records as the fastest growing city. Its population is reached 1 million in less than 70 years. From a tiny working village in the taiga, it's turned into a metropolis. World War II actually gave a powerful drive to development of the city because a huge number of factories, culture, and scientific institutes were evacuated to Siberia from the central part of Russia, and later the influx of specialists made the city one of the largest industrial centers of USSR. Novosibirsk has absorbed all twists and turns of the country history, and they really vividly reflect on its architecture, infrastructure, in its different diverse atmosphere, and in the rhythm of the city. Let's look at it a bit closer. You can see how many faces has a city that just celebrated its 128th anniversary. Traditional wooden log houses coexist side by side with fancy shopping centers, high-rise buildings, and classic columns of theaters and palaces of culture. Let's have a walk through Krasny Prospekt. It's the city main street, the heart of the Novosibirsk. There you can see diverse architecture styles that we also can see the samples of constructivism in the Novosibirsk, such as administration of the Novosibirsk region and house with a clock, and of course the Novosibirsk Opera and Ballet Theater. And when we're talking about theaters, Novosibirsk is the cultural center of Siberia. Novosibirsk citizens are huge theater lovers, so there are a big range of theaters that not looks that so differently, but also stage big numbers of different plays and performances, as classical and experimental ones. The building of Opera and Ballet Theater, one of the biggest in Russia, and it's often called the Siberian Coliseum for its reminiscent of antique temple. And what about Red Torch Theater? We call it Krasny Fatel. Sorry, it was a traveling theater that was established in 1920, but in Odessa by groups of young actors. But later it settled down in Novosibirsk in 1932. The Novosibirsk Regional Puppet Theater has always been one of the most popular attractions for children. Its style was greatly influenced by Sergei Obraztsov, the famous puppet theater in Moscow that was also evacuated to Novosibirsk during the Second World War. What about music? The State Philharmonic Society annually gives more to 2,000 concerts in different styles and genres. And city guests who want to know more about the history of Novosibirsk and the land where it was founded, can visit the Museum of Local History. It's located in historic building that was built in the 1910, which makes it one of the oldest buildings in the Novosibirsk, where we can find some especially valuable items such as complete skeleton of Mammoth. Also, there is a permanent historical exposition featuring collections of household and cult items of people who lived in Siberia. Now we get to the bookish heart of Novosibirsk. It's Novosibirsk State Regional Scientific Library, R1s, and State Scientific and Technical Library, two main libraries of the city. The Scientific and Technical Library is a major library in Russia, east of the Urals. Its main function is information support of scientific research and library services for all categories of specialists in the Siberian region. The Novosibirsk State Regional Library, it's a main library of the Novosibirsk region and one of the oldest library in the city. Except for a rich collection, including more than 1.2 million of volumes, they are located the Interactive Book Museum, which reveals the history of book business in Siberia, and a new art section, Da Vinci House, which attracts people who are interested in art. Of course, Novosibirsk is a city of students and science, the center of which is well-known Akademgorodok. Akademgorodok is kind of city within city, which is located in forest. Everyone who lives here, we are talking about 75,000 people committed to one common goal, development of Russian science. Those new research institutes are located in this unique place, as well as the futuristic building of Technopark, Technopark, and the new building of Novosibirsk State University that you always can find in the rankings of the best top universities of Russia. There you can see the Biotechnopark, the science town Koltsova of the Novosibirsk region. The Biotechnopark is a leading research and production center that has all necessary engineering infrastructure and equipment for projects of biotechnological, pharmaceutical, and medical companies. Okay. Besides the outstanding scientific activity, we have our local customs and traditions that festivals, for example, it's musical and art festivals such as Trans-Siberian Art Festival and Jazz Fest. Trans-Siberian Art Festival does not only project the idea of connecting the cultures of East and West, but express the notion of unifying many Russian cities into a single creative note. The main principles of the festival is expanding the global music space by inviting the top musicians to perform in remote regions of Russia. The Novosibirsk region, as a center of book culture, occupies its leading position in the publishing industry. So, in the Bookish Siberia international festival which is held in scientific and technical library, is only event that in the region that brings together representatives of publishing and book selling organization, writers, librarians, and readers. The program usually includes new books presentations, meeting with contemporary Russian and foreign authors, workshops, lectures, discussions, and of course the book fair itself. In Novosibirsk, we are open to something new, but also really love and keeps our tradition. For example, May 24th is Slavonic Literature and Culture Day in many countries. It's time to the day of remembrance of Saints Cyril and Methodius, who created the Cyrillic alphabet. Traditionally, since 1994, Novosibirsk has hosted a religious procession in honor of the fathers of Cyrillic alphabet. The procession goes along the main street of Novosibirsk with icons and letters of Slavic alphabet that demonstrate the unity of people. And this good note, I think I can declare that our little trip to the biggest city in Siberia has reached the end. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope in the near future we will have more opportunities to travel, to explore our huge and beautiful world. Please be safe, and we will glad to see you. And in sometimes this kind snowy, but also really hospitable region. Thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miss Natalia, right? And thank you, of course, especially to the Novosibirsk State Regional Scientific Library. By the way, next 30th of November, we will meet again with the staff of your library in the framework of another important event. Our foundation will donate a marble bust depicting the Italian famous poet Dante Alighieri to the All Russia State Library of Foreign Literature in Moscow. And your staff, the head will be present also for sign a memorandum of understanding with our foundation. So the collaboration with your library don't stop here, will continue on. And of course, we are very glad of that. Yeah. Thank you again to all the staff. Again, even though it's quite long, I would like to expressly thank Ludmila, Inna, Nina, Valeria, Karina, Natalia, Evgeny, Yulia, Alexandra, Ekaterina for contributing to such a wonderful and complete presentation of Novosibirsk and Novosibirsk area. Thank you again very much. And now